Good evening, sports fans. Welcome to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Certainly glad you have tuned in here tonight, wherever you may be listening from. If you're in your car on your way home from a game, or in some cases, games may still be going on. We'll be here for the next few minutes. We'll run through some scores from last night. Maybe get hear from a couple coaches. We'll tell you that I'm a little bit under the weather, so not sure how long this will go, but I feel pretty good right now. And coming to you live from the Pizza Ranch studio. Pizza Ranch with 7 locations across the state of Missouri. We host the Tip-Off Club, and will be this Monday as we return from hiatus due to the Martin Luther King holiday. We'll be back at Pizza Ranch in Springfield. Seating starts at about 11:30, and we wrap up between 12:30 and 1 o'clock. Would love to see you there. Also presented by Central Bank of the Ozarks. Central Bank of the Ozarks locations across southwest of Missouri. Central Bank of the Ozarks are presenting sponsor. And we'll start with some of the game's scores on the girls' side from last night. And we'll get through as many of those as we can find. It's Arcadia Valley over Kingston 66-16. Jefferson City defeats Battle 50-29. Fair Grove in the Osage Girls Tournament. Fair Grove defeats Bell 59-12. It was Blue Eye over Exeter 70-23. Blue Springs defeats Seneca 55-19 in the Frontenac Tournament. It was Brookfield over Marceline 45-40. Buckland defeats Breckenridge 62-18. It was Climax Springs over Calvary Lutheran 55-37. Smith Cotton over Cassville 49-40. That was at the Gary Keeling Invitational here in Bolivar, Missouri. In Cape Girardeau, Central defeats Saxony Lutheran 48-45. It was Holcomb over Central New Madrid 58-40. Central Park Hills defeats Farmington 60-30. Again, these are girls' scores from last night. Brought to you by Doak Propane. Doak Propane for all your propane needs in Polk County and surrounding counties. See the folks at Doak. Chadwick over Everton 56-9. Again, these are girls' scores from last night. Chaffee over East Prairie 60-22. Chillicothe defeats East Buchanan 56-30. Van Far over Clark County 51-41. Bloomfield defeats Clearwater 41-34. Clever over Crane 65-49. Clinton defeats Sacred Heart 59-41. KIPP out of St. Louis over Confluence Prep Academy 63-21. Cristo Rey defeats Frontier STEM 60-22. Dexter over Woodland 56-15. Another score from the Osage tournament is Stoutland defeats Dixon 56-35. Doniphan over Neelyville 63-57. El Dorado Springs defeats Stockton 50-25 in the Stockton tournament. Eldon over Lebanon 64-55. St. Francis Borgia defeats Father Tolton 53-45. Fayette over Brunswick 53-51. Mansfield, they improved to 14-3. They defeat Gainesville 54-15. Galena over Southwest Washburn 52-47. Gateway defeats Sumner 51-5. Glendale over Ozark 54-49. Glendale now 14-4 on the season. So they defeat Ozark, that also in the Gary Keeling Invitational. Crystal City over Grandview 40-30. Greenfield defeats Conway 54-28. Canton over Hannibal 52-32. Seymour defeats Hartville 31-23. Campbell over Hayti 61-30. Hazelwood Central defeats Afton 34-30. Cuba over Herman 43-35. Kelly over Oak Ridge 62-55. Kennett over Twin Rivers 36-28. Carrollton over Knobnoster 57-9. It was La Plata over Marion County 53-25. Lamar defeats New Covenant Academy 69-27. Liberty Mountain View over Van Buren 57-51. was Fatima over Licking, 60-53. Fatima now 12-4 on the season. Licking falls to 14-3. Both state ranked in their classes. Fatima Class 4 District 10 and Licking Class 3 District 10. Lynn County over Grundy County, 50-34. Branson over Logan Rogersville, 60-57 in the Logan Rogersville Lady Cat Classic. Was Portageville over Malden, 48-26. Miller improves to 15-3 as they defeat Morrisville, 51-20. Spokane over Marionville, 53-45. Milan over Marshall, 66-47. Bishop LeBlanc defeats Maryville, 43-36. McDonald County over Adrian, 51-38. Montgomery County over, Wright City, 64-27. Montrose over Green Ridge, 47-39. Mountain Grove over Dora, 49-37. Again, these are girl scores from last night. Newburgh over Lakeway, 65-51. Northeast Cairo over North Shelby, 69-37. Windsor Imperial, 55. Northwest Cedar Hill, 41. Fort Osage over Oak Park, 51-38. Center defeats Odessa, 53-47. St. Elizabeth over Osage, 57-22. Park Hill South defeats Republic. It's a battle of state-ranked teams, both Class 6. Park Hill South over Republic, 71-43. That in the next invitational tournament. Bolivar defeats Parkview, 62-53 in the Gary Keeling tournament. Paseo over Kansas City Central, 56-38. Lincoln College Prep over Pembroke Hill, 73-57. Perryville over Festus, 53-32. Louisiana defeats Pittsfield, Illinois, 49-44. Warrensburg over Pleasant Hill, 47-40. Poplar Bluff over Sykeston, 59-47. Raytown South defeats Belton, 61-43. Fordland over Reed Spring, 42-34. Richland over Vienna, 61-36. Elias Catholic defeats Roosevelt, 58-9. Russellville over Eugene, 57-29. School of the Ozark over Lead Hill High School out of Lead Hill, Arkansas, 39-31. Seneth Hornersville, 61-35 over Puxico. Sheldon defeats Humansville, 33-27. California over Skyline, 52-40. Skyline now 11-5 on the season. California 14-3. The St. Paul Lutheran out of Farmington, 64 by Burnham, 49. St. Pius X out of Kansas City, 31-29 over Park Hill. Potosi over St. Genevieve, 52-35. Van Horn over Summit Christian Academy, 31-22. Tipton defeats Lincoln, 91-22. Tipton now 17-0 on the season. Class 2, District 8. Max Creek over Tuscumbia, 79-36. Courgezoo Academy, 40. Ursuline Academy, 36. Valley over Bourbon, 58-52. Walnut Grove over Wheatland, 53-40. William Chrisman over North Kansas City, 41-37. Windsor over Cole Camp, 50-48. Platte County defeats Winnetonka, 57-43. Elsewhere was Blue Valley Northwest in Kansas over Carthage, 58-51 at Pittsburgh, Kansas tournament. Also in the Pittsburgh, Kansas tournament, Kickapoo defeats Webster Groves, 57-27. Carl Junction also in that tournament, and they defeat Pittsburgh, Kansas, 65-23. Visitation over Nerrick's Hall, 54-39. Hazelwood Central defeats Afton 34-30. Willard over Olathe North 51-39. That in Pittsburgh as well. Clayton defeats Parkway North 55-39. Cuba over Herman 43-35. It was Owensville over Salem 66-56. Fredericktown at North County, and they win 47-45. Sullivan over Capital City 54-38. Festus loses to Perryville 53-32. Those are your scores on the girls' side from last night, Thursday, January the 19th. We'll take a time out, and we'll be back after these messages.
Believe banking should make your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support for life. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters.
Enjoy a fresh start to your meal at Pizza Ranch, where the salad bar is always included with your buffet. Every day you'll find garden fresh greens, colorful veggies, and sides for every appetite. It's the most refreshing way to balance out a meal while leaving plenty of room for your other buffet favorites. Convenient, fast, and fresh. It's the Pizza Ranch Salad Bar. Mmm.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a time like this, in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and that care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's a lot better now.
It was like a huge weight lifted.
Welcome back to Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. I'm Guy Newcomb. Certainly glad that you have tuned in. We'll jump into the scores from tonight on the girls' side that we have up to this point. It was Alton over Naylor, 57-28. Centralia defeats Marceline, 64-35. Valley over Clearwater, 43-33. Sullivan defeats Cuba 54-42. Drexel over Osceola 56-33. Duchesne defeats Bishop DeBerg 44-24. Golden City over Sheldon 55-23. Stover defeats Crestridge 57-23. Lafayette Wildwood over Seneca and this in the Frontenac Kansas tournament. Lafayette wins 46-24 over Seneca. Mid Buchanan defeats Lathrop 58-42. Rockbridge in the Truman tournament, they defeat Lee Summit West 62-32. Westminster Christian Academy over Lutheran North 62-55. Max Creek defeats Wablo 54-22. Macaulay Catholic over Everton 36-21. North Platte defeats Plattsburgh 73-38. It was Northeast Nottoway over Mound City, 44-23. Melville defeats Northwest Cedar Hill, 66-36. Again, these are girls' scores from tonight. Meadville, also 17-0, 92-31 over Northwestern at Minden. Novinger over Green City, 66-49. Tarkio defeats Osborne 61-20. Salisbury over West Strand, 53-48. Santa Fe goes to 13-1, 44-38 over St. Paul Lutheran. Sherwood, 58-37 over Warsaw. St. Joe Christian over Albany, 64-25. Summit Christian Academy, 30. Oak Grove, 20. Lone Jack over Sweet Springs with Malta Bend, 54-31. It was Valley Park over Maplewood, Richmond Heights, 40-26. School of the Ozarks over Verona, 60-50. Leeton goes to 14-2 as they defeat Wellington Napoleon, 47-16. Wheatland over Dadeville, 54-23. Gilman City defeats Winston, 62-41. Those are your girls' scores from tonight. We'll check our other sources here. Also from Pittsburgh, Kansas, Carl Junction defeats Blue Valley Northwest out of Kansas, 45-42. And Carthage defeats the host team, Pittsburgh, 70-31. Elsewhere, Bayless over Crossroads College Prep, 45-12. Orchard Farm over St. Charles, 54-15. Brentwood defeats Hancock, 40-21. John Burroughs over Lutheran South, 43-28. Francis Howell over Francis Howell North, 41-28. Lindbergh over Ladue, 43-32. Again, these are girls' scores from tonight. Liberty Wentzville falls to Holt, 62-24. Fort Zumwalt West over Francis Howell Central, 40-38. Olathe North defeats Webster Groves, 56-29. That also in the Pittsburgh, Kansas tournament. Fort Zumwalt East over Fort Zumwalt North, 34-28. Timberland falls at Troy Buchanan, 54-47. Valley Park over Maplewood, Richmond Heights, 40-26. Kickapoo defeats Willard, 37-22 in the Pittsburgh, Kansas tournament. Duchesne over DeBerg, 44-24. Parkway South over Kirkwood, 65-43. Warrenton over St. Charles West, 45-26. Battle defeats Roosevelt, 71-42. St. Dominic over Parkway West, 44-24. Incarnate Word defeats Louisville Mercy, 77-65. North Point over Winfield, 43-40. Sullivan wins at Cuba, 54-42. Oakville over Fox, 49-24. Eureka over Fort Zumwalt South, 65-39. Melville over Northwest Cedar Hill, 66-36. Pattonville defeats Marquette, 64-49. And St. Teresa's falls at Visitation, 61-38. Those are the girls' scores from tonight. We'll come back and run through some of the boys' scores and some of the stats from tonight's action in high school basketball. You're listening to Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network.
The qualities in a truck that are most important are reliability, just really great function.
Having a truck is pretty much a necessity to getting to most of these locations. Oftentimes it's narrow, steep, loose, rough, rocky roads.
Having a truck is essential to every part of what we do, from picking up material for the home to delivering the home.
Always carrying something, pulling something.
It's something that we use every single day here.
Imagine a bank that goes where you go, creating seamless solutions for every step in your financial journey, allowing you to manage your money the way you want to, with a banking relationship that makes every day extraordinary. Imagine a world full of possibilities, always within reach. Central Bank. We do banking better.
Only Pizza Ranch serves buffet your way.
Don't you mean my way, Mr. Voiceover Guy?
Sure, anyone's way, actually. Request your favorite pizza. We'll make it, bake it, and give you the first slice.
I can add peppers to pepperoni, Stampede on stuffed crust, maybe Texan taco on thin. No tomatoes on my half. How can I convince Mom to let us eat here every night?
It's buffet your way at Pizza Ranch. Say it with me, kid.
Not only is Country Financial our insurance, but they treated us like family.
Relationships are the single most important piece of the puzzle. We always ask this question: what is the right thing to do?
Welcome back to Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Certainly glad that you have tuned in wherever you may be listening from. We certainly appreciate it. We'll just run through some of the scores as they've come in this evening and some of the cliff notes from games that also have gone on. Ellie Busher broke the school record in career blocks at 187. She also holds the school record for blocks in individual game with 11. They're at Lutheran South High School. So congratulations to Ellie Busher. That happened last night. Finals in on boys basketball from the Chanute tourney. Carthage defeats Coffeyville 60-44. Elsewhere, girls basketball final. Carl Junction defeats Blue Valley Northwest 45-42 in the semifinals of the Bill Hanson Memorial Tournament, and they will play in the championship game at 1 p.m. on Saturday. Elsewhere in the 80th annual Tony Lenzini Tournament, Consolation Championship, Highland Lady Cougars defeat Van Far Lady Indians 58-24. In the Stockton tournament, Buffalo defeats New Covenant Academy 46-34. Also, final Webb City defeats Fort Scott 53-47 on the boys' side. And in the 38th annual Spokane Invitational semifinals, it was Ash Grove over Reed Spring, 44-40. Semifinals there. Seneca hangs on and rallies to defeat Nevada 66. Seneca rallies to defeat Nevada 66-65. Nevada now will play for the 7th place game at 11:30 a.m. tomorrow, while Seneca will play in the Consolation Bracket Championship. On the girls' side, Webb City defeats Branson 51-39 for 3rd place in the Lady Wildcat Classic at Rogersville. Ash Grove now following their victory over Reed Spring. They've moved to 14-3 on the season, and they will play in the championship game tomorrow at 6 p.m. in the Spokane tournament. In girls basketball, in the Frontenac Raiders Classic, winner semis at halftime, Nevada was leading Frontenac 30-26, and we should have a final by now on that one. After one quarter, Central Rebels and St. Genevieve were tied at 16. And then at halftime, it was 31-26, Central on top. Zach Mings joined the 1,000-point club tonight as the Jays go to the locker room at halftime, up 37-24 over Aurora in that contest, and we'll see if there's a final there. Boys basketball, Niangua defeats Billings tonight, 74-62, and Niangua now 12-6 on the season. Kabul Classic girls' third-place game, Plato defeats Kabul 52-46. In varsity girls basketball, at the Galena tournament, Reed Spring defeats Hurley in double overtime, 54-49. Congratulations to the Greenwood Lady Jays. They defeat Niangua 51-37. Cammie Parker with 27 points in that contest. Marionville boys basketball defeats Morrisville tonight, 60-43. The Central Rebels now up on St. Genevieve after three quarters, 51-33. Purdy boys basketball, they improve to 11-8 as they defeat Verona 58-39. They'll be back in action Monday night at Blue Eye for a 4-game night along with their varsity girls, JV girls as well. Norwood boys basketball. Norwood defeats Conway 60-45. And is a final from Frontenac as Nevada on the girls' side. Nevada defeats Frontenac 58-55. Nevada will face Blue Springs in the championship game tomorrow at 1 o'clock. There in the Frontenac, Kansas girls basketball tournament. Elsewhere, Harrisburg honored senior Braden Knott for scoring his 1,000th career varsity point versus Marceline earlier this week. Final score on the boys' side, Zach Mings finishes with 20 to surpass 1,000 points and leads the Blue Jays to a conference win over Aurora. That final score, Marshfield 76, Aurora 59. And the Central Rebel game versus St. Genevieve has gone final as the Rebels defeat St. Genevieve 66-46. Elsewhere, Milan over Trenton. Varsity boys action 78-48. Boys basketball final, Steelville defeats Grandview 74-33. Steelville boys now 14-3 on the season. Alton falls at Mountain View 63-60. And all back to the 38th annual Spokane Invitational on the other semifinal. Spokane defeats Blue Eye 54-37. Spokane now will match up with the 1 seed, Ash Grove, tomorrow at 6. Kabul Girls Classic Tournament. Norwood defeats Bakersfield 53-22. Elsewhere, congratulations to Walker Goring on scoring his 1,000th career point for Fulton High School. Kabul's Girls Classic have announced their all-tournament team. Chloe Combs from Couch, Brenna Couch from Plato, Michaela Watson from Kabul, Keely Stevens from Bakersfield, and Gentry DeVault from Norwood. MVP was Caitlin Drake of Norwood High School. Congratulations to Caitlin. In boys basketball, Niangua defeats Billings 74-62. Drexel girls moved to 12-5 with a 56-33 win over Osceola. Drexel boys moved to 16-1 with a 59-40 win over Osceola. Up next, the 93rd Annual Archery Tournament is where you will find Drexel. New Franklin goes to 16-1 on the years. They defeat Jamestown 89-38. Pierce City over Brenau in the consolation of the Tony Dubray tournament as Pierce City defeats Brenau 58-32. Pierce City now 10-8, heading into conference play against Miller next week. In the 80th Annual Tony Lazzetti third place game in the tournament, Hannibal defeats Monroe City 39-38. Varsity boys action was Mansfield over Willow Springs 55-21. Golden City now 12-7 on the season as they defeat Sheldon 50-41. Final, West Plains falls to Park Hill South in the next Invitational Tournament 67-45. High school boys basketball, Sparta falls at Hartville 44-54. I should say Hartville 54, Sparta 44. Girls basketball finals of the Lady Cat Classic in Rogersville. Rolla defeats Stratford 52-51. Lamar falls at Stockton in the Stockton tournament 64-38. Licking boys win a conference game over Richland tonight 70-42. Moved to 5-0 in the conference, 14-4 overall. Well, that will do it here for Friday Night Live here. We've given you all the scores from around the state, and as they come in, you can sign up and follow us at Scoreboard Guy on Twitter or at Missouri_sports on Twitter as well. You can email us at MissouriSportsNetwork@gmail.com. Make your nominations for Athletes of the Week on the girls and the boys side. Hope everyone has a great night. Travel safely, and as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow on the Missouri Sports Network. Good night.